PTF and JK here at Mirror Twin Brewing Championship Saturday, and our little head-to-head competition continues with the Filly and Mare Sprint. This is a race where I'm going to go, I think, a little bit against the grain and take a filly I know you're a fan of as well in Speech. I'm hoping she can get the right kind of trip behind the fancied ones at the top of the market, make the move at the right time, and get the job done. Where are you going?
Give me the speed of the speed. I'll take Serengeti Empress and my friend Tom Amos. They're going to go to the front with this horse. She showed what she can do in the ballerina, going fast on the front end. I think she'll be tough to beat here.
Going to try to win back what you've lost on this one in the past, JK?
It's gonna take a little bit of effort.
Turf Sprint next up. You go first in this one. Who do you want?
I like Alexandra in here, and if you guys ever listen to our act, I'm always looking for horses that are on the front end in these turf sprints, but for whatever reason, this horse keeps grabbing me. I don't think the pace is going to be terribly fast. I think she'll be close enough, and her late kick will be enough to get her home.
The Jiper's been a key pointer for this in the past, and you're right, the JK arsenal, typically a closer-free zone. So pay attention, folks, when he picks one. I like Got Stormy in here. I think she just might have the class edge. Milers cutting back have done well in this race, granted, usually downhill at Santa Anita, but she showed the last time she can handle the sharp 5.5. Give me Got Stormy in this spot. Dirt Mile up next. I feel like Nick's Go is just tremendously suited to this race. Abundant speed, improved so much for the new barn. Short run to the first term, short stretch. Nick's Go, for me, maybe even the most likely winner, and definitely my play at the odds. Who are you going to go with?
I like Complexity a lot. I think this will be a big move for me in the Breeders' Cup betting challenge, using things with Nick's Go and Complexity. I feel like one of them has to win. I'll take Complexity here.
Let's talk about the Filly and Mare Turf. I'll let you start this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rushing Fall. I'm a huge fan of Rushing Fall. Special filly mare that's won a grade 1 at 2, 3, 4, and 5 years old. A really cool accomplishment. Also, she loves it here at Keeneland. I like it here at Keeneland as well. She might like it more. She's won 5 times out of 6 races at Keeneland. I think she likes the surface. I think she'll be tough to beat.
I'm going to try Terrabellum in this spot. I do not think we're going to get anywhere near to the 20-1 of the morning line. If we did, it might be bet of the year type stuff for me. If you look at the speed figures she's earned overseas, they translate to the same kind of 103, 104, 105 I'm expecting from those at the top of the market. I think this one's going to be suited to the USA style of racing and is my play in the Filly and Mare Turf. And then we move on to the Sprint, JK. This is a race that's been thrown, for me, a little bit into chaos with Vekoma not able to take part. I'm going to go with CZ Rocket, another one of these angles we talk about on the show all the time. West Coast sprinters shipping east. CZ Rocket back in what looks to me to be career form. I can think of a lot of ways to go. In exotics, I will use backups. But for our contest, it's CZ Rocket for me. How about you?
I'm going to use Frenzy Fire. I think a lot of people have this myth developed about Frenzy Fire that he loves it at Belmont and can only win there. And he probably does like it at Belmont. I like it at Belmont too. But I do think that he's better than other people might think at other racetracks. He ran well at Saratoga when closing into that slow pace set by Volatile. I think Frenzy Fire offers a little bit of value here.
Breeders' Cup Mile, annually one of my favorite races at the entire Breeders' Cup. Interesting case of Europe versus the USA. Who's your top pick?
I'm going to take Siskin, our friend Nick Luck. Every year I listen to him and his opinions about these European horses coming over. And when it comes to this mile race, he always lays them out as 2 different types of horses. One that like to gallop and ones that can quicken. He described Siskin as a quickener, and that's what I was looking for in this race. I'll go with Siskin.
I saw him this morning. He looked absolutely great. I mentioned in the other video, one to pay attention to on breederscup.com or through the Breeders' Cup app, through the contender cam. Make sure he doesn't lose his mind on the way to post. That has happened in the past. I like Siskin. My top pick, going with a price here with Lope E. Fernandez as my Frankie Dettori love continues. This one to me looks to be one of those quickeners who might be really suited by USA Racing. I saw him galloping along with the flotilla of O'Brien horseflesh this morning out there. This one didn't look out of place against some of those killers. Lope E. Fernandez for me. Let's talk Breeders' Cup Distaff. This is another race where I'm going to go with our buddy Michael McCarthy and CC, who I think could just potentially get the right kind of trip. I don't love the draw, but I think when you go through the PPs, you can tell a story about Cece. She might be sitting on a big race at a big price. Showed she belonged at the top of this division earlier in the year in the Apple Blossom. Who is it for you?
One of my favorite slang nicknames in horse racing is calling a horse a gorilla. And I think that there's nothing more that we can see in these next couple days that could be defined as a gorilla than the number 10 horse Monomoy Girl. She's run 14 times. She's won 12 times. She was disqualified once, lost to Midnight Bisou in that race. I think she's an absolute gorilla, and I think we'll see it on Saturday.
She looks fabulous to me in her flesh, too. Bigger and more powerful than ever. Certainly going to have plenty of Monomoy Girl on my tickets. Penultimate race of the meeting, JK, Breeders' Cup Turf. I kind of see it as a three-way scrum at the top of the market between the Irish runners. You're going to pick one of them, or you're going to go somewhere else?
Yeah, I like Tarnawa. Once again, I'll defer to Nick Luck saying that that performance on Arc Day potentially could have won the Arc. The Arc being one of the biggest turf races in the world, and I think I'm going to give him a little bit of a bonus. The American horses here haven't really moved me.
Yeah, Tarnawa, she's awesome. One of my best bets of the 2 days for sure. I'm a little bit bitter that you stole that one from me. In the face of that, I'm going to go with Magical. She's just so cool. A lot of narrative here, almost having been retired a couple of times. She showed she could run left-handed in the great race that she gave Enable 2 years ago at the Breeders' Cup. Tarnawa is also my top choice, but for the purposes of our contest, give me Magical. And that'll move us on to the granddaddy, the big one, the Breeders' Cup Classic. This is one I'm going to return the favor and steal your pick here, JK. I like Tom's d'Etat in this spot. I think he's been laid out for this, so carefully handled by Al Stahl, who's shown he can have a horse trained to the minute for the Breeders' Cup Classic in the past. Tom's d'Etat, for me, has been at the top of this division all year. Loved the last race. I think he'll be set up to run absolutely huge and should just be a better price than the other contenders. Where will you go?
Well, that has been my top pick majority of the week. I'm going to go with Authentic. I think Authentic, we learned in the Kentucky Derby that he wants to go fast. And when he goes fast, he's very dangerous. He beat the great Tiz the Law. And then in the Preakness, he went a little bit slower. And I think that wasn't what he wanted to do. That doesn't highlight his talents. I think we'll see a very aggressive ride on Authentic. He'll be on the front end, and he'll be hard to catch.
I like him, too. It's a $6 million race, and Authentic running for an extra $1 million for that BetMakers bonanza for having won the Haskell, the Derby, and now trying to make it 3 in a row there as far as that series goes in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Well, that's it. We've got our picks. You can follow along at home. Feel free to comment in the thread if you want. Give us your picks in all 14 Breeders' Cup races. Can't wait for this weekend. JK, thank you very much, and Godspeed, everybody.